everyone. Welcome back to Everyday English Chat. I'm Maya.
And I'm Jake. Today we're going to talk about how to talk about your daily habits in English. And of course, we'll give you lots of example sentences you can copy and use right away.
So, if someone asks you, what's your daily routine? Or, what do you usually do every morning? After this episode, you'll be ready. 1. What are daily habits?
Okay, first, what are daily habits? Simple. They're the things you do again and again, almost every day. Like, I drink coffee every morning. I go to the gym 3 times a week.
And in English, we usually talk about habits using the present simple tense. I plus verb, she, he plus verb plus s. Examples, I wake up at 6 a.m. She watches YouTube at night. He goes to work by train. 2. Useful words like always, usually, often, sometimes, never.
To sound more natural, we use adverbs of frequency like always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never.
And these words usually go before the main verb. I always wake up early. I usually drink coffee. I often read before bed. I sometimes go for a walk after dinner. I rarely eat fast food. I never smoke.
Jake, if the verb is to be, am is are, the adverb comes after. I am usually tired in the morning. She is always late. They are sometimes noisy.
3. Example daily habits. Sentences you can copy.
Let's give you some ready-to-use sentences. Imagine you're talking about your morning routine. I usually wake up at 6:30. I always check my phone first. I brush my teeth and take a shower. I make a cup of coffee and eat a light breakfast. I sometimes listen to a podcast while I get ready. I leave the house around 8 a.m.
Now for work or study habits. I drive to work. I take the bus to school. I usually start work at 9 a.m. I check my emails first thing in the morning. I have lunch around 1 p.m. I often drink tea in the afternoon to stay awake. I finish work at 5 p.m. and go straight home.
And evening habits. I usually cook dinner at home. I eat dinner with my family. I often watch Netflix after dinner. I sometimes go for a walk in the evening. I usually go to bed around 11 p.m. I always scroll on my phone before sleeping, which is a bad habit.
4. How to ask someone about their daily habits.
Now, how do you ask other people about their daily habits? Here are some useful questions. What do you usually do in the morning? What time do you usually wake up? How do you get to work? What do you normally have for breakfast? Do you exercise regularly? What do you usually do after work? What time do you go to bed?
Let's do a mini conversation with these. Let's pretend I'm asking about your routine. Ready? So, Jake, what do you usually do in the morning?
I usually wake up around 7 a.m. I check my phone, then I make coffee and some simple breakfast. After that, I take a quick shower and get ready for work.
Nice. How do you get to work?
I usually take the train. It takes about 30 minutes.
Do you exercise regularly?
Yeah, I often go to the gym after work, maybe 3 times a week.
And what do you usually do in the evening?
I cook dinner, watch a show, and sometimes read a book. I usually go to bed around 11 p.m.
Perfect. See, that's a simple way to talk about daily habits.
Now we'll give you some sentence patterns. You can change just a few words to make them true for you. I usually wake up at 6 a.m. I always in the morning. I always drink coffee in the morning. I sometimes after work, school. I sometimes meet my friends after work. I never eat dinner late because it's bad for my sleep. On weekends, I usually wake up late and watch movies.
You can pause this podcast and repeat after us, or write your own version in a notebook. I usually wake up at I always, I often, I sometimes, I never. Hey, what's your daily routine like?
On weekdays, I usually wake up at 6:30. I make coffee, have a quick breakfast, then go to work.
Do you exercise?
Yeah, I often go jogging in the evening. How about you?
I'm not very active. I usually just watch YouTube after work.
What time do you go to bed?
I usually go to bed around midnight, but I'm trying to sleep earlier.
Same here. I always feel tired in the morning. All right, let's do a quick recap. Today we talked about how to talk about daily habits in English. To talk about habits, we use the present simple tense. I wake up at 7. I go to work by bus. She eats breakfast every morning. We also use adverbs of frequency to say how often we do something. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never. For example, I always drink coffee in the morning. I usually go to bed around 11. I often watch YouTube at night. I sometimes exercise after work. I rarely eat fast food. I never smoke.
We also gave you some useful questions to ask about daily habits, like, what do you usually do in the morning? What time do you usually wake up? How do you get to work or school? Do you exercise regularly? What do you usually do after work? What time do you go to bed? And we shared some sentence patterns you can personalize. For example, I usually wake up at, I always blank in the morning. I sometimes blank after work or school. I never blank because on weekends I usually